always nice to be able to celebrate things and to say thank you. To say thank you to the staff that worked so hard, to all of the team that has been working with Dr. Codencherry, but most of all to the family and for your confidence in us and the work that we do. But we really have a great story here to share today. And it's stories like this that just remind us of all the work, and it gives us pleasure in seeing the results of all the work that's been going into this.
I work for CNS Construction. I'm a cement mason. Ironically, we were working about 2 miles away from the hospital, maybe not even that far, 2 blocks. And it was a warm day, but not overly warm. And we'd poured out about 7,000 square feet of floor. And we were at the easy part of the day. We were just picking up and cleaning up, and we were snapping some lines to saw cut the floor. And when I stood up, I was lightheaded, and one of the guys, Ryan, told me to sit down and he was going to get me water, and that was the last thing I remember. But
I was at work in South Bend, and Ryan, his coworker, called a couple times. When I got the message, he just said that Quinn had collapsed at work, and they'd given him CPR, and he was now here at the Methodist Hospital in the ICU in a bad condition. The RNs in the ICU actually called 2 or 3 times while I was on the way down just to make sure I was calm and let me know that he was somewhat stable, that I could make it in time.
So Quinn actually presented to the hospital with an abnormal rhythm. His heart flipped into a rhythm during which your heart cannot maintain perfusion to the body. And we had a tough time keeping his heart in a normal rhythm. He also had symptoms for a few weeks of what sounded like a flu. And initially we thought this abnormal rhythm was because of abnormal labs as a result of a stomach flu. But very soon it was very clear that his heart was not pumping well, and there was evidence of heart attack. So that's when we decided to take him to the cath lab emergently. In the cath lab, however, we found something that was astonishing. There was no evidence of heart attack. He did not have any blockages, but his heart was hardly pumping at all. So that's when we put the Impella device in. So Impella is actually a percutaneous left ventricular assist device. What it means is that insertion of it is done without a clear open surgery. And it has a tip that looks kind of like this, and it sits inside the heart. Basically, it's a turbine that sucks blood from the heart and pumps it to the rest of the body. So it kind of takes the burden of pumping from the heart and does a job for the heart. Okay. After the Impella was put in, the immediate response was remarkable. Before we put an Impella, we had a tough time maintaining blood pressure and heart rhythm, and we were almost maxed out on medications to do that. Once we put an Impella, we were able to take off all the medication that was needed for maintaining the blood pressure. It was difficult to oxygenate him, give him enough oxygen through his lungs in spite of using the breathing tube in. And after we put an Impella, within about 5 minutes, his oxygen improved. And the most interesting thing was that when we were in the cath lab, his efficiency of the heart to pump was only 10%. We repeated an echocardiogram, which is a scan of the heart to see how well the heart pumps. About 30 minutes after we put the Impella in, it had already gone up from 10% to 35%. And that's where Impella played its role, because it supported him for those 3-4 days that was needed for the heart to recover by itself. So timely CPR, taking the patient to the cath lab, making sure there was no heart attack, putting in the assist device like Impella early on to give the heart the rest it needs, and also re-establish blood flow to other organs so that other organs don't die out in the meantime. I think celebration of life was an excellent opportunity for physicians, the staff, and the patient and the family to complete the circle where we saw a bad disease taken care and managed appropriately, and we were able to bring him back to the productive person he was in the community. And it was nice to see the smile on everyone's face, and it proves to us that we can make a difference when things are done right and things happen in the right fashion.
Yeah, but standing there in front of everybody and seeing everybody that was involved with putting me back on my feet, giving me back to my family and my son and my wife, and the guys I work with. The Methodist Hospital in Maryville is an establishment that goes out of the way and are over the top in the treatment and care of the patients, but also the care of the family members. This is a place that I would recommend wholeheartedly. Get it? Heartedly.